Gilmore Girls gets therapized. What do you do if you're ghosted by your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your partner, whatever? Oh, Jess, will you ever call Mended Light? All right, we're taking a look at Season 3, Episode 15, Face Off. And Rory has been with Jess for some time now. And then things go a little bit south. It's not too late to save it, but they go a little bit south when Jess promises to call, and then he just doesn't.
Oh, we gotta get a faster car.
Hey, don't blame the car.
So you're saying it's my fault we're late?
Well, who was the one who said, hey, I've got room for another piece of pie?
Ah, you kept making all that pointless conversation, all those thank yous and pleases. What are you running for, miscongeniality?
Just get ready.
What time are you meeting Jess?
I don't know, I'll tell you in a sec.
What do you see my brown boots?
This is old school.
Not go out on my brown boots. Entire outfit.
No messages. Some of us remember voicemail machines. No texting.
Accident of fate. Put them there. What? He didn't call? Well, maybe it's too early. What time is it?
9:15.
And when did he say he would call?
When he got off work.
Which was when?
It varies.
I'm sorry. I thought you had a plan.
We did.
And the plan was that he calls you whenever, because his work time varies?
Yes.
Good plan. Bay of Pigs, was that yours too?
He'll call.
Hey, look, you want to come out with me and Alex? We might go see a midnight movie if something really bad is playing.
No thanks.
Just promise me you won't sit here all night staring at the phone.
Happy?
Delirious. Oh, I should not have had that second piece of pie.
Full.
Oh, just late.
Okay. Bring me some milk duds.
It's a plan!
And he never calls.
40 minutes cleaning up my hard drive. You would not believe the amount of junk.
Dude.
It's old files, things you've downloaded but never opened. It really slows down your CPU.
Oh yeah, I hate a slow CPU.
This is ghosting before that was a word.
I saw all this hair and dust between the keys on my keyboard.
So naturally you cleaned your keyboard.
Yes, and I'll tell you, it was a strangely satisfying experience.
Wonderful Friday night for Rory.
During this time that you watched TV, did homework, proofread articles for the Franklin, organized my sock drawer, returned emails, and gave a much needed cleaning to your computer, did it ever occur to you to call him?
No.
Why?
Because he said he'd call me.
Right, okay, so then I'm guessing you're not gonna mention anything to him about your extremely productive evening alone when you see him either.
Why should I?
No reason I can think of.
Avoidance.
You know, I almost like it better like this.
It is more festive.
Maybe she thinks he should bring it up, which he should. He should apologize.
Or when Dean said he'd call, he always called, but where's the fun in that?
Oh, honey, don't do that.
Do what?
Compare Dean and Jess, that's not fair. They're different people.
Clearly, one calls when he says he will and one doesn't.
Okay, for starters,
Valid.
something. You were really lucky with Dean. He was an exceptional first boyfriend, and you got spoiled. Most of us didn't have first boyfriends.
Listen, early Dean was not without his problems, but early Dean was also a really sweet guy. Later seasons Dean, gosh dang it.
He walks away, and I don't see him again until the 10th grade when he tries to sell me a dime bag at the Sadie Hawkins Day dance. And he was way overcharging for it, too.
Lorelai, you and your anecdotes.
Most of us had to put up with. But where do you think the Susan Falutis of the world came from?
So you're telling me this is just the way it is and I have to get used to just not calling when he says he will?
No. I'm saying you just have to realize that every guy is different. Give Jess a chance to explain before you freeze him out.
Okay.
So Lorelai actually gives some good advice here. The first is don't do that. Don't compare Dean and Jess. They're two different people. And that's true, especially you can get really hung up on grass is greener syndrome. At the same time, a little comparison can be healthy because we learn from every relationship that we're in, the things that we like and the things that we don't, how we want to be treated and how we want to show up for the other person. And there is nothing wrong with recognizing this past relationship didn't work, and yet there were things about it that I appreciated. Some of them I may have to let go of if I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody else, not the same person. They're going to bring different things to the table, but some of them are essentials. Some of them are definitely things I need. And that's a healthy approach when it comes to comparison. Lorelai also says, give Jess a chance to explain before you freeze him out. I think it is always a good idea to regulate our emotions, to bring ourselves to a place of calm equilibrium as much as possible, so that we can be present and not making our decisions based on a rush of emotion. But Jess, as early Jess often does, She just blows it.
Jess.
Hey, that table's clean if you want it.
Well, I hope that cleared it up for you.
Not a word. Not even a lame-o apology that is obviously a lie.
Yeah, how dare he not lie to you?
Valid. But still, he's not trying.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
What was that? You guys in a fight or something?
No, you are.
What are you talking about?
Last night, didn't you guys have plans to do something?
I don't know. I just said I'd call her after work.
And did you?
I had to work another shift. I didn't get off until midnight. It was too late to call.
And you couldn't have taken 2 seconds at work to call and tell her that?
No?
Really? You don't get breaks? Do you get food, water? Should I get Michael Moore on the phone?
Whatever. I gotta unload some boxes.
Nice talking to you.
Lorelai's points are valid. Jess dropped the ball. He didn't call because he didn't make time to call. It's not like Luke's is ever so packed until midnight that you can't make a 2-minute phone call. And he says, well, it was after midnight, it was too late to call. That might have worked back when the show aired, but today you can send a quick text. You can go use the restroom, send a quick text or something. But Jess is trying to be cool, which is what Jess often does. This is part of what Luke was telling him about with the Swan episode when Luke was saying, look, with a girl like Rory, or frankly anybody that you're interested in having a relationship with, people want to feel like they're a priority. They want to feel that they are special to you and unique apart from the other friendships that you may have and the other connections that you may have. And often all it takes is a little bit of effort. But Jess, honestly, is probably showing up for Rory far more than his mom ever showed up for him. Like, he's never had a model of what this looks like. And so sometimes it's hard for us to wrap our head around, well, this is the best I can do and it's not good enough. Those two things don't equate. It must be the other person's fault. Instead of, this may be the best I can do, but I can grow. And growth is small. It's incremental. And it starts with just common courtesies. And Jess dropped the ball. I love this mother-daughter moment.
Rory.
Mom?
What are you doing there?
What do you mean, what am I doing here? I live here, remember? Who were you expecting to find?
No one. I was calling to check messages and see if Mom called.
Well, she hasn't. No one has. In fact, this is the first time the phone's rung all day.
Ah.
What,
Okay. Get out.
Excuse me?
Out of the house. Get out of the house.
Why?
Why? Look at the clock. What does it say?
It says 6.
So it is 6 on a Saturday night, which means you have now spent a day and a night waiting for him to call.
I know.
Well, that's not good, kid. Look, let's say he does call. You can't be the kind of girl that gets all mad in her head and then forgets everything once he deigns to show up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't just sit there waiting. Go out, do something.
Like what?
I don't know. What's Lane doing tonight?
She's going to the hockey game with her fake boyfriend.
Perfect.
Perfect?
It's the whole thing.
Game.
It'll be fun. There'll be cheerleaders and clowns, and people doing the wave.
You have no idea what a hockey game is, do you?
It doesn't matter. Put on a jacket and get out of there, and if he calls...
Who cares?
That's my girl.
Thanks, Mom.
It's one of my favorite line deliveries on this show of all time is, thanks, Mom. Yeah. So, Lorelai's right. Rory is super into Jess, and when you're super into somebody, it's easy to let your whole life revolve around them. Why? Because that unique cocktail of having a special person in your life, a romantic partner, is potent and powerful, and especially in the early stages can make the other aspects of your life seem boring and mundane because they're just things you've always been doing. This is what's new, this is what's exciting, this is what brings fulfillment, except it's not. Not really. What truly brings fulfillment is having self-regard and self-respect. And then a healthy romantic relationship can supplement and accentuate that and propel it further. But you have to love yourself first for a romantic relationship to bring you true fulfillment. Right? It's just there to add to what's already there. So what Lorelai is encouraging Rory to do is to love herself enough to not let her happiness or her sadness be dependent on another person's behavior. You create that for yourself. And Rory says, thanks, Mom, and gets out to the hockey game. Of course, she's still a little melancholy because she wants him to call.
Hurry! It's cold in here.
It's the ice.
Oh my God, there really is ice. Cool.
What are you doing here?
I'm hockey.
That's not a word.
Where's everybody?
Hockeying.
Monster Truck Show in Woodbury tonight pulls a lot of the same demographic. Sit. Where's Jess?
Don't know, don't care.
Really?
I'm a free woman tonight.
Is everything okay?
Everything's fine.
Sure.
Absolutely. I just wanted to see some good hockey playing.
Uh-huh.
Really? Is that young too?
You mean the guy with the cell phone stapled to his area? That's him.
He looks kind of serious.
He's talking to Karen.
His real girlfriend?
I think she's not quite as cool as Dave is about the whole fake dating thing. She needs reassurance.
Well, Dave is pretty cool.
The coolest, isn't he? I mean, besides Jess.
Right.
Oh, grass is greener. There's Dean. Of course, Rory learns in this episode that Dean has moved on from her and is dating somebody else. He's the coolest, except for Jess, which Lane says to be a good friend, to be like, hey, your boyfriend's really great, but she can tell from Rory, things aren't going so great. And Lorelai is going to do what Lorelai does. She's going to go full mama bear on Jess. And Jess is going to do what Jess does, which is he's going to be completely nonplussed.
Jess,
Hey, is Rory here?
are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
No, I'm serious. Are you serious?
Why do you keep asking me if I'm serious?
Because I'm just trying to imagine the scenario here. You looked at the clock that said it was 7:30 on a Saturday night and you thought to yourself, hey, Rory must be home.
Yes?
I'm sorry. Are you serious?
Okay, I'm guessing this is your way of telling me she's not home.
No, Jess, she's not home.
Do you know where she is?
She's at the hockey game.
Hey, look, you don't want to tell me where she is. Fine.
Jess, she really is at the hockey game. You'd know that if you'd, what, ladies and gentlemen? That's right, bothered to call.
Why are you hassling me?
Well, mostly because I'm here to hassle you. Now, if you'd bothered calling, maybe Rory would be here to hassle you.
Hey, Rory knows I'm not the kind of guy who lives by a schedule.
Yes, and look what the guy who doesn't live by a schedule ends up doing on a Saturday night, talking to his girlfriend's mother.
Whatever.
Hey, Jess, you like music, right? The Beach Boys said it best. None of the guys go steady because it wouldn't be right to leave their best girls home on a Saturday night. Rory is one of the best girls. She's the best girl, if you want my opinion. And you don't seem to have the first idea as to how she should be treated.
Well, luckily I've got you to tell me.
Not anymore. You and I have discussed your relationship with Rory long enough.
Sarcasm.
Fine.
I'll tell her you stopped by.
Don't bother.
Brian Hutchins is looking pretty good right about now.
So the psychology of Jess is complex. For most of his life, he's been neglected by his parents. You know, Luke is there for him, but he's treated by almost everybody like he's just trouble, a ne'er-do-well. I treated him that way on this channel. And in fairness, his behavior warrants that distinction, like that title. This is how you're showing up. And yet every person is a person. And most of us do what we do because we want to feel safe, respected, and loved, or we're responding to not feeling safe, respected, and loved, which accounts for Jess's chip on his shoulder and too cool for school attitude, in his case, literally, he ditches school all the time, and too cool for advice. But what's really interesting about Jess is that even though he pushes it away and even though he comes up with sarcastic comebacks and things like that, things do settle in for him. But before we get to how Lorelai's words affect him, we have to have a moment of Rory standing up for herself, and I love this. Payphones, yeah. I was there 1,000 years ago.
It's me. I just wanted to let you know that this is the last weekend I spend sitting around like an idiot hoping you'll call, okay? I'm not going to be that girl. From now on, I want a plan. I mean a real plan with a time and a place. And I'm tired of hearing, let's hook up later. What does that mean? Anyway, what's later? How do I set my watch to later? Later doesn't cut it anymore, got it? And yeah, you know, maybe I am spoiled, but guess what? I like being spoiled. I plan to go on being spoiled. And if that doesn't sound like something that you can or want to do, then fine. I'm sure you'll find another girl who doesn't mind sitting around cleaning her keyboard on a Friday night hoping you'll call, but it's not going to be me. Oh yeah, this is a message for Jess.
La, 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 la. Knew it. Here.
Find you here? When you say the word hockey, you say the word Rory, right?
What are you doing here?
Came to give you these.
Earplugs. What are these for?
I got tickets to the Distillers.
You did? For when?
For tonight.
Tonight? But
I would have been here sooner, but I had to wait in line. So we should probably get going. I mean, we don't want to miss anything, right?
It's the beginning of making up for it.
hey, Jess,
Yeah.
when you get home, could you erase your answering machine without listening to any of the messages? That'd be great. Thanks.
Rory is one mistake in this right here, in my opinion. I actually really like that she tells him, you may think I'm a spoiled girl, but you know what? I like to be spoiled, and I plan on being spoiled in the future. Spoiled is bad if it's entitlement or superiority over other people. That's the mentality. Spoiled is good in the sense of we all want someone to treat us special, to make time for us, to show us that they care, to make that overt. And if that's being spoiled, then that's just a healthy relationship. My issue with Rory in this scene is just that she tells him to delete the messages. And look, I get it. If I were in high school, I probably would have done the same thing. Just to, oh, you're here now, everything's good. I want everything to be good. You made an effort, so I'm going to accept it. But honestly, I think it'd be good for Jess to hear from her how his behavior has been hurting her and upsetting her. And I would go ahead and say, at this point, knowing what I know now and having the maturity level I have now, I'd be like, hey, there's a voicemail for you. You can go ahead and listen to it, but let's talk after you do, because I want things to be good between us. And I have some things that you need to know. And I want to know your response. That would be a good response to this. And then Jess, my issue with Jess in this scene, it's good that he shows up. It's good that he goes and bought the tickets, but he's trying to make things right without addressing what happened. He's trying to make things right without acknowledging how he hurt her and telling her how he's going to be different moving forward. Rory, I recognize that you'd like to have a specific plan. You'd like to know when we're going to be together and what we're going to be doing so you can plan your life. And it's not right for me to expect you just to hang around until my schedule allows for us to be together. And I'm sorry that I ever treated you that way, and here's what I'm going to do moving forward so things will be different. That's it. That's all you got to do. But you know, everyone's where they are in their journey towards maturity in relationships. I'm not here to judge these characters, at least not too harshly. I am here to help you. And so I'm just using this as a springboard to talk about supportive ways to have these conversations. Now, I have a video for you, another Gilmore Girls video. It's the true story of Jess's black eye, which shows, again, Rory and Jess maybe not at their best, but also reconciling in a really beautiful way. Link for that is in the description for this video. How do you respond when your significant other ghosts you? What tips or techniques do you have that you'd like to share with the rest of us? Let us know in the comments below. And if you have any thoughts on my thoughts, want to push back, or share a different perspective, I love to read them. Until next time, folks, keep shining. We need your light.